In today's video, I want to talk about a topic that's most likely going to ruffle some feathers. And in my opinion, I believe if you look at yourself as a reseller and only a reseller, you're most likely going to be broke 10 years down the road. I've been in this game for 11, 12 years, and the sad reality is a lot of my reseller friends who only resell and that's all they do, they're pretty much in the same place they were. Yeah, they might have higher orange bars. They're more successful because they've gone from doing $50,000 a year to $200,000 a year. But the problem is a lot of these guys and gals, and again, I'm not saying they're bad people. These people are amazing, but they're not millionaires, right? They don't have as much freedom. Like they're always fighting for the next buck. They're always trying to find the next dollar. And it's because all they've ever been is a reseller, right? They've never learned how to invest. They've never learned how to budget their money, right? But the big word is investing, especially if you're young. If you're in your 20s and 30s and you start making really good money from your eBay and Amazon business, you have to stop just looking at yourself as a reseller. You've got to take a portion of that money and put it into index funds. You've got to learn about real estate. You've got to learn about other business models to be able to diversify, but also there's other business models out there where you can get a lot more leverage. I love reselling. Selling on eBay, selling on Amazon, it's amazing. But there's other models out there where you have a lot more leverage, whether it's selling courses or affiliate marketing, or maybe it's TikTok affiliate or just affiliate marketing in general, building a brand, right? You could still run your eBay and Amazon business and have a side hustle on the side that holds your integrity but has a lot more leverage. So the big mistake I've seen a lot of people make is they're only resellers, right? They never learn about anything else that has leverage. Maybe you're not making a lot of money. Maybe you're only making $30,000, $40,000 a year, right? As a reseller, whatever. Even if you just have a couple $100 extra, and again, for some people, you might not have it, but there's ways to cut money out. Stop going to Starbucks, stop spending money on cigarettes and liquor and eating out all the time and Uber Eats. There's ways to save money. If you're in your 20s, you should be putting a small portion into index funds. If you start making a bunch of money, you need to learn how to get that money to work for you. And again, I'm not saying this is easy, right? I hate watching these stupid Grant Cardone videos where he did a video the other day. He's like, if you have a 13-year-old, you should have your 13-year-old invest $3,000 into a real estate property so he or she starts making $300 a month. And it's like, where are you going to find a property for $3,000? Of course, there's creative financing and different things like that. But come on, like, let's be real for the average person. But the point I'm trying to make is a lot of my friends now, they've made a lot of money, but they're spending more money than they're making. Every time they earn more income, they spend more income. They spend their money on liabilities, cars, houses, things that depreciate, things that don't build their wealth and network down the road. All they do is resell, and they're just flipping and flipping and flipping, and then they spend it and they flip it. They don't have any investments. They haven't taken the time to learn about real estate. They never took the time to learn how to put money into index funds and play that long-term game of compounding, right? Putting money into something and letting it compound over 10, 15, 20 years. They've just been a reseller. And I think reselling is amazing. I think selling on eBay, flipping on Amazon, eBay to Amazon, Amazon to Amazon, whatever. This is great. But I look at it as a way to produce cash flow. I don't look at it as a way to get rich, right? I really, really don't. And again, I know there's a lot of people on here who say, you know, build a private label brand and wholesale can get you rich and do this and do that. For the average person, there's a 0.00000000001% chance you're going to get rich doing that. There's just a lot of overhead. There's a lot of time. There's a lot of investment. I feel like the average person could get rich a lot easier if you just start putting money into index funds at a very early age, right? And let that rip for 20, 30, 40 years. Right? I think the average person maybe not get rich, but could build a great income stream in 20, 30 years if you learn how to buy a rental property. I know interest rates are higher. Things are more challenging now. I had a plan to buy more rental properties over the last couple of years, but the prices have gone through the roof. But there's other skills in other areas. You could learn about building software. You could learn about affiliate marketing. You could start documenting your journey, and maybe you create a course or a school community. But again, I see it over and over again. Resellers, 5, 10, 12 years down the road, they've elevated their sales, but they're in the same place because a lot of resellers just look at themselves as resellers. And I think one of the big things that I did, and I caught a lot of flack for it at an early age, was I didn't just box myself into being an eBay seller, right? I expanded into Amazon. I expanded and learned about internet marketing and building a personal brand and affiliate marketing. And now I built a software company and I've invested in multifamily houses. And this happened over a 10, 11, 12 year period. But one of the big things that I did was, number one, when I made a bunch of money, I didn't spend it on stupid stuff. I remember actually in 2018, I bought a Corvette Corvette cash for $40,000. Drove it for like a year and I was like, this is stupid. Sold it and put that money into real estate and index funds. But early on in my journey, I knew that long term, the day was going to come where I'm going to want to have other investments. I don't want to just rely on reselling. Very rarely. How many resellers do you see who are financially free, who are millionaires, right? How many? Really? Look at a lot of the gurus and a lot of the people on YouTube and the people that you follow, right? Online, they might look like they've got it all together, but I know a lot of these people, and a lot of them are just renting a house, which is nothing wrong with it, right? There's nothing wrong with it. But what you don't see is a lot of these people are in massive debt. They're looking to make the next dollar because they never took the time to learn other skills. They never took the time to learn how to invest, how to put their money into index funds, to learn about real estate. And again, I know real estate's freaking through the roof now and it's definitely a lot harder, but it's cyclical, right? There's times where real estate's really good, really bad. I'm not an expert with it. I just have a couple rental properties, but you've got to stop looking at yourself just as a reseller. And again, I'm going to say this over and over again. Even if you only have a couple $100s a month extra, what's stopping you from investing in index funds, right? What's stopping you from learning other things, starting up a YouTube channel, starting up another side hustle that has leverage, right? You could continue to do what you're doing and spend 80% of your time on what's making you your money and paying your bills, but spend 20% of your time investing. That's the big thing, investing. And also spend time to learn how to budget, right? Track your income, track your expenses. When you make more money, don't just spend more and more and more. I see this all the time with young kids. They're just spending and spending and spending. And I know it looks great for social media, but 5, 10, 12 years down the road, you're going to see these people. They're going to be in the same place and they're going to be hunting for the next product to flip, hunting for the next opportunity, the next side hustle to be able to make money, to be able to pay their bills. And again, I'm not saying that I'm any better than these people, but we're talking about money. And what's the whole purpose of this? It's financial freedom. Yes, we want to do what we love and we could continue to do what we love, reselling, but also we could invest for our future so we don't always have to be living paycheck to paycheck. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are around this video. These are the biggest lessons that I've learned. These are some of the things that I've seen. And again, this video, I don't mean it to come off as if I'm talking down to people, but if you're younger, even if you're a little bit older, but if you're younger or even older, these are some things and different ways of thinking that I've implemented that's really been able to change my life. It's helped me become a millionaire. It's helped me to have multiple streams of income, passive income, investments that pay me without working because I don't just think of myself as a reseller. So with that being said, guys, much love, smash that like button, and I'll see you in the next video.